everyone, my name is Jaybird and welcome back to Once on a Windswept Night. I'm so tired right now and I don't know why. I think it's because it's just getting more hot out because it's getting closer to summer. So I guess my room's a little bit warmer than usual, so I'm kind of all sleepy. I took like an hour nap earlier too. So yeah. Gotta slap myself awake. Okay. Anyways. And once more you have returned. As though drawn by some powerful otherworldly magnetism, you find yourself here. Well, isn't that to be expected? She told you as much. This library is always waiting. Singing. Greetings once more, my guest. Thy chorus offers you a smile. Thank you, I will take that smile graciously. It's a small smile, relatively understated, but it lights up the gloom more effectively than any candle. Shall we continue where we last left off? We're gonna forget. Forget about it! Your head spins. You open your mouth to reply, but no sound comes out. What? Instead, you choke on your own tongue. This is all far too much for you. Wait. What did I do? What did I do? What did I... Oops! I guess I hit the wrong thing. I don't know. Oh dear, do not fret so. That is easy for her to say, but how can you help yourself? None of this makes sense. If you think about things too deeply, you will place your body under an undue amount of strain. We only have faint, phantom-like existences. If you begin to ponder the nature of your own life too greatly, it will snuff itself out. Then you will forget everything. You will forget me. But most of all, you will forget yourself. But it is far too late. What the fuck did I just do? I did not expect this. You have already forgotten yourself, haven't you? Yes, it really is hopeless. You don't even know your own name. You have precious little to forget. Getting rid of the last few scraps of your identity should not be too hard. In fact, it's even easier than closing your eyes. Goodness, your body's growing very faint. What did I do? Oh my god! The coarse voice, too, is growing fainter and fainter. Swallowed up by the darkness. You can no longer hear the crackling fire. You can no longer smell the dust. Well, I don't want to smell the dust in the first place, but okay. You can no longer feel your fingertips. If you are incapable of going on, I suppose this is for the best. But I will still be waiting. The story will always be waiting. If our paths ever cross again, I will be sure to greet you like a dear friend. But why does it hurt so? Has this, perchance, happened before? Achievement unlocked, drifting away, and my game is dying. And it's closing. Window's closing. It's closing. It's closing. It closed! Okay. Oops. Did not expect that to happen. What? I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know what that was about. Maybe I should actually look up a guide for this game. What? You blink, your eyelashes fluttering. You don't know where you are or even who you are, and the room is dark. Oh, I restarted the game. What is this, a breathing exercise? No matter how you strain your eyes, you cannot make out any details. It's called Oh my god, I fucking restarted the game. Oh my god. Excuse me? Yes, yes. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh my god. Oh wow. I made a bad decision today. Oh my god. Decision today. Fuck. Fucking restarted the game and I didn't even know. Oh my god. I'm a fucking idiot. Oh my god. Last time let's examine the tree. Of all the aspects of the church that had piqued the traveler's interest, it would have to be that. The tree. With cautious footsteps still trembling from residual cold, the traveler rose to their feet. If the spindly tree was depressing from afar, it was doubly so up close. The branches were withered and wasted like malnourished limbs. Though the tree bore leaves, they were molted with age and did not bear any fruit. Perhaps it could not. The traveler swallowed. For some reason, the tree was disconcerting. In fact, foolish though it sounded, it was almost as though the tree was calling to them. The whisperer in the darkness, achievement unlocked. Me? Please help me. Oh, creepy. The traveler's ears, hidden beneath the folds of their cloak, flattened against their skull. Ew. If they listened closely above the moaning of the wind and the falling of the rain, they could hear something. They swore they could hear something. Oh, I get it. It's a fucking tree thing. Oh, I live in a tree. But maybe it was their imagination. They were being foolish. It was just a tree. Nothing more and nothing less. Less.
I want to be a tree.
It's good. It's good. It's a good shit. Stay with Madeline. What is the nature of your relationship with Daffodil?
Pardon?
Madeline frowned, tilting her head to one side. Her blonde hair shifted, falling over her shoulder.
I am afraid I do not understand your question.
Oh, Traveler pondered. They were unsure how to phrase this without being insensitive. Are you two lesbians? Let's just ask, let's be fucking obvious. Are you two lesbians?
Lesbian?
Pride Month, everybody. Pride Month is... what? June? Lesbian. Madeline fell silent. Was she thinking? She did not seem offended by the rather direct line of inquiry, to which the traveler was relieved, but the fact that she had not reacted at all led the traveler to believe she did not understand what they were talking about. Is lesbian not a word you use in Dakui?
Forgive me for my ignorance, but it is not a term I have heard before.
Huh. The traveler was not sure whether this was because there was no way to refer to women who loved other women in Dakunis, or whether Madeline was sheltered and had never heard of the term before. Either was a valid possibility. In any event, was having this conversation worthwhile? Yes. Perhaps it would be better to change the subject. No, we're going to talk about this. Press the issue. We're going to press the issue. I mean, I want to know whether you and Daffodil are in love.
Oh, is that all you meant? Why, of course we are in love.
Madeline responded without a second's hesitation. She sounded so confident in her answer, the traveler was rather taken aback. You do love her?
Yes, she means the world to me. She's my most precious companion, and I wish to stay by her side forever. Does that answer your question?
I mean, do you love her as a friend or as another woman?
Ah, I see.
A wicked little smile captured the corners of Madeline's lips. Coming from a nun, it was strikingly devilish.
You wish to know whether I have held her,
Stroked her where? Where?
and kissed her?
The traveler had expected Madeline to blush at this line of inquiry. They had been wrong. They were the one who was now blushing. The traveler had thought they were immune to embarrassment given their line of work. But having something so scandalous, stated in such simple, pretty terms by a nun, of all people, was too much. I suppose I was asking that, yes, but not in so many words.
You asked me this question, yet you were too flustered to even look at my face. How silly are you? You are. How silly you are.
I suppose I am rather silly, yes.
Well, as talking about my relationship with Daffodil is rather too much for you to handle. I will neither confirm nor deny your suspicions.
That's playing dirty!
I have no obligation to answer, and I am doing it for your sake. I fear if you knew the truth, you would pass out.
That is very benevolent of you.
I am a nun.
Are nuns allowed to have relationships?
I never said that I was in a relationship.
You implied it.
Oh, wait, did I? I am afraid I don't remember.
And I thought Daffodil was the one to watch out for. You can be quite sadistic yourself.
There is a lot you don't know about me.
Evidently.
Is there anything else you wish to ask? Or are you too flustered to formulate words?
Well?
Yes, that is correct. There are no other sisters here.
The traveler frowned. They had not expected Malin to answer so bluntly, but it appeared there was nothing else she wished to say on the subject. Perhaps it was personal. That answered one mystery, at least. But the guarded look on Madeline's face made the traveler feel somewhat ill at ease, and my foot's falling asleep, so what else is new? Perhaps I could ask her another question? Can you tell me a bedtime story?
Oh my. You want me to tell you a story? Really?
Yes, well, you have a nice voice. I like listening to you. It's relaxing.
Goodness, I have never been told that before.
Hasn't Daffodil?
In case you haven't noticed, Daffodil's quite awkward. She dislikes complimenting others. I believe she has never been taught how.
No?
No, it is quite sad, really. I suppose it is to be expected, given her upbringing, but that is neither here nor there. I shouldn't speak for her.
If she knew you were sharing juicy tidbits of her past with a stranger, she would never trust you again.
I fear you may be correct. Though I love her dearly, she can be quite contrary. A story, then. I suppose I could tell you a parable.
A parable?
It is a tale from the book of Marjolaine, and is well known among the inhabitants of Daquin. Bernadette told me it when I was small, and I have always cherished it. It is such a dear story, really, though quite sad.
I think a bittersweet tale suits a rainy night like this.
You do? Thank goodness. I am fond of this parable myself, but Daffodil dislikes it. She says it is too sentimental. She's such a realist.
Despite being a nun?
Are you trying to infer one cannot be a realist if they are a nun? If I were the type, I couldn't take offense to that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to imply. But the traveler's voice broke off. Malin was giggling. Giggling. Fuck!
Do not worry. Daffodil's more cynical about religion than you are. I have heard it all before.
But she's supposed to be a nun.
She's supposed to be, but she has no desire to serve the goddess.
What does she want to serve then?
Well, I wonder. To return to the story, are you familiar with the concept of souls?
Souls? The traveler repeated the word, tasting it on their tongue like a piece of boiled candy. Ew. And then shook their head. Daquinese was not the traveler's mother tongue, and there were many words and phrases they were unfamiliar with. Souls was one of them.
Oh, let me see.
Oh, God. Madeline pondered, her gaze directed roofwards as she thought.
I suppose I would call it an entity that resides within us that lingers on after we die.
Is it something like a conscience?
Not quite. Perhaps I didn't explain it very well. Anyway, this parable is about souls and how the concept of a soul has changed over time. It is a religious tale, but you can regard it as a simple story. It's a simple story if you wish.
How does it go?
If you truly wish to know.
Oh my God. It was a sad story.
Do you really think so?
Malin's face fell. She looked so very disappointed by the traveler's assessment they felt almost guilty for offering their honest opinion.
I understand that it is quite a gloomy tale, but it gives me comfort.
I don't mean to be rude, but I don't understand how such a tale could comfort anyone. Isn't it all about death and despair?
It is, if you examine it on a surface level, but there is also an important moral message. I think it is a message that would enrich all of our lives if we allowed it. But I fear I have prattled on long enough. It is impolite to talk at such length about topics the other person does not find interesting. enough about me. Why don't you tell me a bit about yourself? Did you ever tell me where you came from?
I come from Praline.
Praline! How lovely!
Melon smiled, clapping her hands together. The sound rang through the church, echoing about the stone floor and walls. She looked happy enough, but for some reason, both the sound of her clapping and her expression seemed hollow.
You'll have to tell me more. I know very little of other countries, and it is rare to have visitors from so far afield.
Berlin is not that far, only 3 days away by boat.
A boat? I've never been in a boat, though I have spoken to sailors. They say the rough waves can be horrendous.
Yes, well, I am not too fond of the high seas myself. I get seasick.
You poor dear.
And so the two continued to talk into the night while the rain fell thick and hard outside. That's how I like my rain. Thick and hard. I don't know. After an hour or so of light discussion, mostly about Pralish cooking, the travelers found themselves lulled off into a long, dreamless sleep. A sleep filled with cold, hard stars and endless rain. That's how I like my stars. Hard! The end. Endless rain. Achievement unlocked. Wow. Really? Really now? Lycoris looks at the book resting in her lap. The book is split open, the page is pale white like the wings of a large butterfly. It appears the traveler managed to offend Madeline. What do you think, Jaybird? You start. You were so engrossed in the story you almost forgot where you were. Who you were.
Oh my. I fear I almost lost you for a moment, Jaybird. I know these stories can be interesting, but if you become too engrossed in them, you may forget your own identity.
Is that really possible?
Many wanderers with a tenacious grasp of their own selfhood have been swallowed by the stories in this library. They become too invested in the lives of the characters and their own sense of ego begins to slip away. If you cannot remember your own memories, your parents, your friends, or even your name, it stands to reason you would try to fill the gaps with knowledge and glean from elsewhere. People take components of these stories and use them to augment their own fragile existences. But this is exceedingly dangerous. If you mix your soul with that of another, you risk losing what it is that makes you you. You will become lost in a swamp of confusion, and then your existence will fade away. A sad ending, don't you think? You start like Lycoris. Your lips are pursed, your eyes wide. If you listen to the story too much, you will disappear. I got spit on my screen. For a few moments, you really did forget your true self. You twitch your fingertips just to reassure yourself that you still have them. You are more surprised than you should be to discover that they do twitch upon your command. Your eyes still blink. Your heart still beats. Your veins would still bleed too if you wished to test that hypothesis, but you don't! Why not? You're not a masochist. Or are you? I might be into that. I don't know.
Who are you?
Wait a minute. Who are you?
You don't know. Are you even called Jaybird? Yes. That's my channel name.
You will discover in due course when you read on. Perhaps you would disappear if you were alone, but you were forgetting something crucial. You were with me. I will not let you be consumed by the story. If you feel your existence growing thin, I will pinch you and remind you who you are.
Does she really need to go that far? Lycoris giggles.
Are you afraid of a little pain? That is so like you.
You glance down at your knees. Yes, you still have them. You are still alive. For now. What will you do if you fade away? Will Lycoris really be able to save you? The thought is more than a little disconcerting.
Well, what shall we do, Jaybird?
turn back the pages of the story. Oh. Take a break.
Alright, I understand. If I experienced a nasty shock like that, I would want to take a break too. However, do not leave it too long. The more you wander, the more pieces of yourself you may forget. Be sure to return to me shortly, okay? The story will wait for your return.
You shiver. Despite the fire crackling away, you feel rather cold. And then your world goes black. Well, guys! Welly. With that being yawned, if you guys enjoyed this episode of Once on a Windswept Night and would like to see more of this game, then leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye!